Back inside the FIHQ, I'm fitness informant, founder, and CEO Ryan Buckeye here with a product education video, a breakdown, if you will, of a new pre-workout from our friends at Genetic Edge Compounds. This is their fully dosed pre-workout, LFL, or also known as Let's Fucking Lift. Now, this is available in two flavors. We have with us grape citrus and we have dragon fruit. We are going to do a one sip review of both flavors, but also going to break down the SFP and talk to you guys about the value of this particular pre-workout. Now, a lot of brands do pre-workouts and some brands do them better than others. And in the past, Genetic Edge Compounds have had pre-workouts, but none that have reached the standard that they've set with LFL. I do like this pre-workout a lot on paper and as well as the performance factor in the gym. So without further ado, let's talk about Genetic Edge Compounds briefly before we dive into the SFP of this particular pre-workout. So Genetic Edge Compounds, or GEC, started as a brick and mortar brand, has a retail store. They can understand what consumers are coming in and what they're looking for. And from there, they're able to formulate a product that fits their consumer base. And in this case, a broader consumer base that is nationally known here domestically in America and potentially overseas, depending on ingredient usage and legalities of the certain ingredients in certain countries. This is going to be a 20-serve pre-workout. It does retail for right around $55 before any sort of discount code, so just get that out of the way, a little housekeeping on. So let's dive into the SFP here. Each serving size is 19.6 grams. That's one scoop. Again, there is 20 scoops or 20 servings per container. The first ingredient here is L-citrulline Malate, 2-to-1 ratio at 6 grams. Now, what does that mean? It means it's citrulline and malic acid. Now, citrulline and malic acid in terms of an actual bond doesn't exist. It's basically citrulline and malic acid that is blended together for a 2-1 ratio. So you're gonna get 4 parts citrulline or 4 grams of citrulline and 2 parts malic acid, which is gonna be 2 grams of malic acid. This is going to be a great ratio. Malic acid, a lot of us have enough of it in our diets, but then there are some who don't. It can help with overall performance. But what citrulline does in 3 to 5 grams is really where you wanna start with that citrulline dosage. It can help increase blood flow and also minimize any sort of effects in the GI system. 4 grams is going to convert into arginine in the body, which is going to increase nitric oxide, which increases blood flow. So the standard dosage of citrulline malate from the 2-to-1 ratio, 6 grams, is utilized here in LFL. Beta-alanine, 3.2 grams. Now, beta-alanine is the ingredient that people talk about probably more often than any other ingredient because it makes them literally feel something. It feels like your skin is itching. But there's a purpose to this ingredient. Beta-alanine has gone through a ton of studies. This ingredient is meant to be taken daily to keep saturation up in the system, much like a creatine monohydrate. But the 3.2 to 6.4 grams now is where we see the dosage of beta-alanine. Beta-alanine can buffer lactic acid, can help improve muscular endurance. It's almost a must-have in any pre-workout, not just because people talk about it and can feel it, because there's actual scientific benefits to beta-alanine. Next ingredient here is betaine anhydrous at 2.5 grams, or as they list at 2,500 milligrams. But betaine, a really, really great ingredient. We've seen this as high as 5 grams now in pre-workouts, but the 2.5 gram is now the industry standard. Strength and power output and overall performance in the gym, which obviously if you're taking a pre-workout, the idea is to get your ass up, going, and crush whatever it is that you're doing in the gym. Tyrosine, 1,500 milligrams. Tyrosine is a non-essential amino acid that we've seen more and more usage and adoption of this particular ingredient in pre-workouts because it helps with mind-muscle connection. It can help with clarity, it can help with focus. A lot of good benefits with it, especially when it's coupled with something like a caffeine, which we can talk about here in a second. Next ingredient here is lion's mane mushroom extract at 500 milligrams. Now, lion's mane is a phenomenal nootropic ingredient, a mushroom actually, at 500 milligrams is going to help with the mind-muscle connection, the clarity, the alertness. Really, I love the fact because you feel like you're in the zone. And sometimes we're so preoccupied with our surroundings that we forget while we're in the gym. Maybe we're on our phone or we're talking too much. Taking certain ingredients can actually help you keep you on the task at hand, which if you're at the gym, it is smashing weights, getting dates. Something like that. Next ingredient here, caffeine anhydrous, 325 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. This is a synthetic version of caffeine. It's the fast-acting caffeine. It's the most popular version of caffeine that we see in pre-workouts. 325 is a nice sweet spot. I like the 300 milligram dosage. When you start getting north of that, it becomes a lot for me, but 325 is definitely something that I can still handle and that I enjoy, and it works really well with the nootropics that we talked about in this particular formula. Next ingredient here is going to be muconopurines, standardized to 15% L-DOPA at 250 milligrams. L-DOPA is going to help again. Now, it's mood elevation, it's clarity, it's mind-muscle connection. So what I really like so far as we go through this SFP and halfway through is you get good blood flow, you get solid energy, and you get really good mind-muscle connection. The 3 pillars that I really look for in a pre-workout. And let's not forget betaine and hydrose and beta-alanine, which can help improve overall performance. So a really nice, well-rounded pre-workout so far. And then we dive into pink Himalayan sea salt, which is just more for hydration. It can help potentially lead to a bigger, fuller pump as your muscles can hold a little bit more water. That's dosed at 250 milligrams. Pine bark extract, 200 milligrams. Pine bark extract, really good in terms of blood flow, increasing and lowering blood pressure. This is what you want to get more blood into the muscles, bring in nutrient-rich blood to help, obviously, look full in the gym, but repair and recover. Norvaline, 150 milligrams. Now, Norvaline is an ingredient that we do not see a lot anymore in sports nutrition. Why is that? Well, once upon a time, years ago, there was a study in a petri dish. It's an in vitro study in which showed that Norvaline could potentially have damaging effects to overall cognition. Now, this is not how the human body metabolizes and utilizes something like L-Norvaline. However, it scared a lot of brands away from using it because they just didn't want to deal with the backlash. I actually personally like L-Norvaline. I have not seen it in a while, so I like the fact that we see L-Norvaline here in this particular product at 150 milligrams. It's a really good dosage of L-Norvaline that can help with a multitude of different things. Blood flow, can even help with brain health and cognition. So a really nice ingredient. It's just, do brands want to use it? And I like the fact that GEC used it in this product. Theobromine, 100 milligrams used here in this product. Theobromine is a metabolite of caffeine. It's also found in things like dark chocolate. This can help with increase in body temperature or thermogenesis, and it can actually have stimulatory effects like caffeine to help keep you alert, focused at the task at hand. S7, 50 milligrams. S7 is a pump-inducing ingredient from our friends at Futureceuticals. I am not the biggest lover of S7. This is just me being 100% transparent. I think when they first came out with it, they were touting claims of increase in nitric oxide production by 230%. I think we just got to pump the brakes on some of these claims that we make now. S7 does work, and it's a nice complement to the overall formula. So I don't want people to think that I don't believe in S7. I just think that it was overhyped from what Futureceuticals did. However, I can still see a use case of it in pre-workout category. Senactiv used at 50 milligrams. Senactiv comes from our friends at Nulis Science. Senactiv can help improve recovery, reduce fatigue, and overall just improve performance in the gym. Estrogen used at 25 milligrams. Now, estrogen is going to help with ingredient absorption, making sure that everything that we've talked about so far is being absorbed and utilized by the body to give you the benefits in which you're seeking from this particular pre-workout. 25 milligrams, we'd like to see that 50 milligrams. That's really where even NuLive wants it at, but it's still nice to have in here to help with overall increased absorption. Rhalosine used at 2 milligrams. This is alpha-yohimbine. This is an interesting ingredient because some people have a really positive effect with it, or a positive experience, and then some people don't. So too much rhalosine or alpha-yohimbine can cause rapid heartbeat, can cause cold sweats, can cause anxiety. At this dosage, though, at the 2 milligram dosage, most people should genuinely be fine. It's just going to help provide more of a kick in the ass as you're in the gym. And then the last ingredient here is huperzine at 100 micrograms. Huperzine can help improve acetylcholine in the body, which is going to help with mind-muscle connection and overall mental clarity. Again, from top to bottom on paper, it's a really solid formula. It covers a lot of the pillars that we want in the pre-workout category, whether it's performance, output, strength. If it's pump, they got you. If it's focus, it's here, and energy. Between the caffeine, the theobromine, and the alpha-yo, you are going to have adequate, if not above average energy for this particular product. So I like the formula. I think it's worth the $55 price point, but now let's talk about the flavoring. Again, grape citrus and dragon fruit. Let's do an official one sip review on both these flavors here. We're gonna start with grape citrus. We have 8 ounces of water. As you can see, we're gonna open this up for the very first time, so this isn't a bullshit made up flavor review, but I think you guys want to know what I want to know, and that is, does it taste good? And so I'm really intrigued by grape citrus, so we're going to start first and foremost with our friends GEC's Grape Citrus LFO. Give it a nice little shake here. Let's go ahead and get the other one here. It's dragon fruit. You know, one thing I didn't talk about that I need to talk about right now because it's super cool. I can't believe I just rolled my eyes when I said that. What the fuck's wrong with me? They have a rub and sniff technology on this label. And so I'm going to do it here in a second before I try these because I think it's really imperative to the overall flavor profile. The brand says like, hey, we do the rub and sniff technology to give you an idea of what this is going to taste like. I will obviously be the judge of that, but I've only seen one other brand ever do this. They didn't last long out there, so it's really cool to see a brand bring back the scratch and sniff is what it's commonly referred to, but they call it the rub and sniff technology. So this is going to be the dragon fruit. All right, so let's start with the dragon fruit since I just poured that. So as you can see on here, you can see right there on the front, it'll say rub me for a scent. So let's rub it up, caress it, make it feel special. And oh yeah, it definitely has notes to it. Interesting. Okay, I'm excited about this. So let's start with the dragon fruit then. So I just smelt it. One sip. Y'all know the rules. Woo, that is tart. You know, it's hard to say. Wow, that is very, very tart. I like that though. I like pre-workouts. Like this is almost this is a sour dragon fruit, honestly. Does it meet or does it I guess equate to the rub and sniff? I don't know. It's really hard for me to put smell and taste together sometimes. Maybe I'm just crazy, couldn't tell you. But the flavor itself is a sour dragon fruit that I actually really like. I think a lot of brands do sour flavors and they're not that sour. They literally could have put sour dragon fruit on this one and been fine with it. I do like that one a lot. All right, so let's check out the next one. Grape citrus. Again, you can see on the label, rub me for a good time. So there we go, a little rub. Yeah, okay, get the grape notes. A little bit of citrus notes, so not terrible. It's really cool. Again, really cool technology. One sip, y'all know the rules. Grape citrus, here we go. I'm trying, so maybe I should smell like that. Not exactly the same, but it's still kind of unique and different. Okay. So I was saying, I was actually really excited to try this one. Again, a little bit more tart and sour to it, which I like, which comes from the citrus. Up front grape, back end citrus. This is one of the better flavors I've actually had in a pre-workout, to be quite honest with you. And I hate grape. I do not like grape. So I think combining it with something like citrus was a home run idea from the friends at GEC. Both these flavors are really good. They're a little bit more on the tart side, a little bit more on the sour side. So if you're into that, this is really cool. And again, the rub and sniff technology, really sweet. These are available now from our friends at GEC. Good solid profile, good flavoring system. That is a product breakdown. For more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on our YouTube channel, or if you're over at Instagram or TikTok, check it out. Like us on all of our social media channels and visit our official website. We're online, fitnessinformant.com.